Hey, what's up? Okay, so I wanted to try the Foxy Eye trend that is going around like Instagram and YouTube. I see it a lot and I kind of wanted to do my take on it. I'm not really used to that kind of makeup and I just thought I would give it a go and find like some simple, easy tricks to achieve this look. So yeah, that's what this video is about. Okay, so for the Foxy Eyes, I think something really easy that you can do, it probably won't make that much of a difference, is to pull your hair up. I don't know if you guys have had the same childhood as me, but I remember when I was younger and my grandma or my mom would do my hair, like it would hurt so much and my eyes would just look like that. And that is one way to easily achieve it. Do like a high ponytail, kind of tight, use some hairspray, and that can kind of push your eyes a little bit more up, because that's like one of the vital things about the Foxy Eyes is the shape of the eye is going up that way and then the inner part is facing down. And so we're gonna try to achieve that with a few makeup tricks. So the first thing is applying bronzer in the right places. So I'm gonna put on my face makeup and then show how to apply bronzer in order to have a more fake facelift look. Oh my gosh, I feel like a ghost. I can't just wear only foundation. I used to do that when I was like 14, I'm pretty sure. But I discovered bronzer and I started using blush like less than a year ago, so there's always time for improvement. Anyways, so with the bronzer, what you want to do is go up. Drag everything upwards in your face, and that'll give a better like facelift, eye lift sort of a look. Usually I do like a diagonally down, so that's already kind of normal, but you want to exaggerate it a little bit more and kind of, instead of just by the right under the cheekbones, you want to take it a little bit up towards the temple, like kind of right below the temple, not on it, but just right below, right there. And so you're gonna take it upwards. I think this trend started with Bella Hadid, but it's a very, very nice and desired look. You don't have to get plastic surgery. Makeup can do a lot of things to easily change your face shape. Okay, one other thing we're gonna do is put a little bit right here on the temples of our forehead. Apply it right above kind of where your eyebrow arches and then up to the hairline. And that just closens up the forehead so that this part of the face can look more emphasized, especially with your hair back. Your forehead is more exposed, so this gives us a little bit of shadow. Everything up. Okay, done. I don't think blush is super necessary, but I do love putting on blush every time I wear makeup, so we're gonna do the same thing and apply the blush upwards instead of just like around the cheek. We're gonna follow the same pattern as the bronzer, and I'm just putting a little bit only because I cannot resist blush, but I don't think it's that necessary. And highlight is important too. A lot of the looks, people rocking the Foxy Eye or like legit eye lift surgeries, they usually have very pronounced cheekbones, so it's just something that goes hand in hand with the Foxy Eye look. So we're gonna apply some highlight on the cheekbone. We still don't want to take away any unnecessary attention from the eyes, but still we're gonna apply some on our cheekbones. We're moving on to the eye, and I feel like something that will help a lot is using tape. You can get a more defined look I will do one side without tape just because I want to show how the look is achievable even without tape. So for the tape, I feel like a lot of traditional eye looks suggest to, you know, follow from your nose to about the temple over here. But here we're gonna go a little bit up, just like how we've been doing with the bronzer. We're not, I mean, the goal isn't to connect it with your eyebrow, but I mean, if your eyebrow is a little bit longer, just do it right before your eyebrow ends. Okay, so I'm just gonna apply the tape. So instead of maybe just a usual, like, you know, cat eye look that might place the tape right here, we're gonna go a little bit up, just right before my eyebrow ends, and I'm gonna place it right there. Okay, and then for doing it without the tape, you just gotta be a little careful in remembering, you know, the same angled level of where you want it. I'll show when I do it, but when you're applying the eyeshadow, start by making the line and then brush all the color and eyeshadow inwards. Most of this look will be done with a very small eyeshadow brush. This is essential. If you're using tape though, I think you would be okay using a fluffy brush, but especially if you're not using tape, you really want to get a smaller brush to get more detailed. If you don't have a smaller brush, you can use like a flat eyeshadow brush, and which has a little bit more precision, and use that to initially set on the eyeshadow. We're gonna take the bronzer that you used all over your face and have that as a base for the eyeshadow, and basically most of the eyeshadow to create that natural eye lift. And so we're applying that along the side of the tape, bringing it up and down, and then we're blending it a little bit into the crease, not too much. We don't want to emphasize and do a fun crease look. We're just trying to put all the attention in this eye lift, this faux eye lift. Okay, and up to here is a good point. You don't want to reach all the way to the eyebrow, just slightly below the eyebrow, and then into the eyelid and slightly onto the crease, and could blend it into the lash line as well. Okay, and then for the part without the shadow, match it against the tape. So just kind of see where that is and then start applying it. You can also, I want to show how to do it with the flat brush. So you're gonna apply the eyeshadow on the tip of it and also along the sides, just like normal, but you want to emphasize it on the tip so that you can make a more defined mark on the eye. Bring it into the crease slightly, and then just blend it along the lash line and onto the eyelid. And even if you mess up, if you feel like it's too blurry right there, you can clean it up with some concealer afterwards. Next, you wanna take a more cool toned gray eyeshadow to look more like a shadow, if you understand what I'm saying. Bronzer warms up the face, and then the gray just makes it look like a more legit just shadow on your face. Like if you look at me, the shadows on my face are like basically black, but just to not use a black eyeshadow and make things a little bit more dimmed down and not so harsh, we're gonna just use a gray tone. This Morphe palette has some nice gray tones. I'm leaning more towards this color right here. I'm gonna take that. If you have like a pencil angled brush, you could totally use that for this look. It'll give you a lot of definition, I think a lot more than even the dome brush. But this is just it gives ease for blending and making things look softer. But especially for this part where you're trying to achieve that like shadow look, it's good to have something a little bit more precise. And so I'm taking that gray color and then putting that, not as pronounced as the bronzer, but just like adding a little bit of detail into the eye. And then along the lash line as well. That'll give it some more definition. Guys, my dream is to become a makeup artist. And sometimes I tell people and they're like, what? Because they know I'm like in college, which I'm not saying you shouldn't. Being a makeup artist is a bad career, and if you go to college you shouldn't be a makeup artist, but you know, society thinks that if you go to college you should have a more basic, maybe safer career than something artistic, I guess. I think the problem is I'm studying accounting, so if I was studying art, then being a makeup artist might make more sense, but it doesn't. Okay, then we're gonna do a little bit on this eye as well, going up towards the eyebrow, and then a little bit on the lash line. Morphe eyeshadows are super nice quality and very pigmented, and the one that I chose was super dark, so I have to have a really light hand with this and just blend everything out. You're gonna take just a matte white creamy color and put it in on the inner part of the eye. I think it'd be cute with like a nice cute shimmery highlight, but we want to emphasize that defined crease and eyelid instead of the inner part of the eye. In the Morphe palette, there's a perfect color. Wait, is it shimmery? No, it's matte. Right here, this white bone color, that one's perfect. And so I'm just gonna take that on a flat brush. I'm gonna apply that to the inner part of my eyelid. Okay, and then something important for the Foxy Eyes is that you want to emphasize the eyes going downwards here in the middle. All we were doing so far was pulling them outwards, but now we want to define here. So what you want to do is you want to see your eye how it is, and then draw the shape with a very dark, almost black color. And I'm gonna use the gray color that we put in on our eyelid, and I'm gonna shadow that lightly on my eye facing down. So you want to look straight ahead into the mirror and find a good angle. And so you're putting the eyeshadow down and then connecting it slightly to your upper lash line. And if you're a beginner, this is a lot easier than using eyeliner, especially since this part of your eye tears up a lot. The eyeliner can get sort of messy, but you can also use eyeliner if you're good at that. I'm gonna try it with eyeliner as well. And I think that's good if this is your first time using eyeliner in the inner corner of your eye. I think it's good to define the angle where you're gonna place the eyeliner with the shadow, since it's a little bit easier to control. So you're just gonna define it a little bit and then take it up into the lash line slightly. Okay, so you're gonna wanna do the same thing to the other eye. Almost dropped my palette. Honestly, I totally prefer the eye with just the eyeshadow here instead of using black liquid eyeliner. I think it's a little bit less harsh and it looks a little bit more natural. We are gonna clean up the area with some concealer. I noticed that inside the eyeshadow might make this inner part of the eye a little bit dark, and so we're just gonna clean it up a little bit with some concealer. And then we're we're gonna add some definition on here with the concealer. Okay, I'm gonna take off the tape here. It's all very, very sharp there. Also, I'm just gonna define the lower lash line a little bit. And I'm just using that gray color, and we're just adding it very, very lightly. Just from the eyeshadow, we're just gonna add it on the outer part, just so slightly, and then connecting it as best we can to the eyeshadow. And then put on some mascara. Although when you put on the mascara, don't evenly apply it all throughout the eye. You want to emphasize this outer part as much as you can, more so than the inner. You may want to do a light touch, but we want to emphasize this outer part. Okay, something that I also think could be fun is putting on some fake eyelashes, but you wanna only apply eyelashes to the middle part of the eye and out. You wanna grab some scissors to adjust the eyelashes, and then you wanna measure them on your eye, how long you want them to be. If you're just applying them in the middle up, so it's like about right there. So I'm gonna cut them about right here, and you want to cut out the end, not the beginning, because you still want that small to large effect. If we cut off the beginning and just use the end, it's just gonna have that harsh, just like thick eyelashes right here and no really transition. I'm gonna cut about right there. Feels so guilty not using the other half. Maybe I can keep it and find some other use. Okay, the eyelashes are on, and I couldn't show this on camera because it's so tricky to apply eyelashes on camera, and I don't have the most friendly camera setup. And so what I did when I put on the eyelashes is apply them normally in the center part of the eye, but on the outer part, I did not match it directly on my lash line. I put it slightly higher, connecting the eyelash with the eyeshadow. And sometimes you can see a little bit of a gap between the real eyelashes and the fake eyelashes. And so I got just like a liquid liner and filled in the spot a little bit with a black eyeliner, just so the gap isn't as easily seen. And then I did do a little bit of liner on the lash line to mix in the fake lashes and the natural lash line. You can also apply mascara to match up the lashes. Finally, for eyebrows, this will be a nice little trick as well. From pictures I've seen, a lot of the girls who have this facelift, eye lift kind of a look, their eyebrows also lift up a little bit. See, when you have the facelift, your eyebrows go a little bit up instead of arching downwards. And so we're gonna try to get that effect as well by brushing your eyebrows all the way up as they can. I know sometimes, you know, your eyebrows might be naturally very curved and angled. Mine are too, and they're pretty long, and so there's not much fixing I can do, but just brush them up as you can. I think with a little bit of hairspray or some brow gel, probably brow gel. Normal people have brow gel, but I don't. I would just take a little bit of hairspray and spray them down to have that lifted effect. When I'm filling them in, I'm also gonna try to get that lifted effect with the eye. And so I'm brushing everything up. And then when you're going down, you do want the eyebrows to be a little bit slanted down, just slightly slanted down. So just right here with whatever you have extra, slant your eyebrows down slightly and then fill in the rest. Also, what I did with my brows is just sharpen them. Use a little bit of concealer to hide the ends slightly so that it gives a more lifted appearance. And so I just covered a little bit the hairs just at the end. You can also pluck them, but I'm very much against plucking my eyebrows right now. And so putting on a little concealer here. For the lips, since this video is focusing on the eyes, I'm just gonna do a very basic nude lip. I'm using this pencil lip liner by MAC and just lining my lips. This is more of like a mauve-y pink color, but I feel like it matches well with my natural lips. It's called Soar. And then I'm gonna go over with this Tarte lip paint in Birthday Suit. This is my favorite lip color, by the way, besides red. Okay, and that's the end. And when I went to see my husband, he actually was like, oh, you look like an Egyptian. And I was just like, yes, that's like basically the look I was going for. Just like the eyes very thin and upward. So definitely made an impression on the people around me. And so yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope you like the look.